Welcome back to my free IELTS training series. Today I'll share the top tips to score band 9 in IELTS speaking. I guarantee you don't need to watch any other tips video after watching this. Also, you can watch all the videos of my free IELTS training in the playlist above. First of all, you should understand that each and every IELTS speaking exam is graded based on these 4 grading criteria, which are fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. Each contributes to 25% of your speaking band. So, if you perform well in all these grading criteria, then automatically your speaking band will improve. Okay? Now, I'll share with you all the excellent tips to improve in each grading criteria so that you get speaking band 9. Let's start with the first tip in criteria, fluency and coherence. To score high in fluency, you must speak calmly at a relaxed pace. Not too fast, not too slow. For example, I visited this beautiful mountain located by the river. When speaking calmly like this, the main benefit is that you can keep developing ideas as you speak. So your speech will look fluent and you can speak continuously. On the other hand, if you speak fast, your brain will not be able to generate ideas quickly. Soon you will run out of ideas and might make mistakes. So always speak in a calm, relaxed pace from the beginning till the end. Speak related to the question topic. For example, if the question is about food, then give answers related to food. Don't talk about car, okay? Answer appropriately to every question. Speaking naturally is very important. If you try using complex words directly on the exam day without practicing before, the examiner will easily understand that this is not your natural speech, which will reduce your score. IELTS speaking exam is to check how your natural speaking in your everyday life is. If you show that you are trying to speak well only in this exam, the examiner can easily know that. To speak naturally, what you should do is practice excellent speaking every day in a way that when you go to the exam, your speech should look natural. Use words that you are comfortable and confident in using. To score high in fluency, avoid these mistakes. Don't repeat the same words again and again. Instead, use new words. When you are speaking, don't stop suddenly. If you stop unnecessarily, it indicates that you don't know what to speak, which will reduce your score. So you need to keep speaking. Don't use a lot of ums, only its rare use is okay. Also, avoid slang words. If you keep worrying and overthinking whether your English is okay, are you making mistakes or not, and so on, that will make you nervous and you will flub your lines. So stop worrying in your exam and speak confidently. Behave as if you are in a job interview, maintain a good posture, make good eye contact, be polite and professional. Speaking for the right amount of time is extremely important. What is the right time? For speaking part 1, you should speak for about 20 seconds. Speaking part 2, 2 minutes. And speaking part 3, about 40 seconds per answer. It's a must that you should speak for the correct amount of time in each part. Remember, there will be no clock in the exam hall. So how will you know for how much time you spoke? For that, you need to practice using a stopwatch. When you keep practicing like that, you will get an instinct of how much time is 20 seconds or 40 seconds without even looking at a watch. I've explained the best structure to answer speaking part 1, 2 and 3 in the playlist above, so do check them out. When you're talking, if the examiner interrupts in between, that's fine because it means that either the time you have spoken is enough or the examiner has listened to what he wanted and wants to move to the next question. So don't worry. When you're answering, also understand the body language of the examiner. If you feel that the examiner wants to ask you the next question and if you have spoken for the appropriate time, then you can stop talking to let the examiner ask the next question. Coherence is to check how organized your speech is, which means, are your ideas well connected and organized step by step? Are you speaking about those ideas smoothly? To get high band in coherence, you need to use connectives, which are however, therefore, because, etc. These words help to connect sentences. Another is discourse markers, which are firstly, moreover, on the one hand, etc. This is to organize your speech. What you should do is select 3 words each in connectives and discourse markers and keep using them daily so that it comes naturally to you in your exam. Next tip is don't use common words like bad, sad, nice, etc. Instead, lexical resource indicates you need to use a wide range of vocabulary. The best way to do this is by using several interesting adjectives and describing everything. For example, instead of saying there was a house near the road, say there was a gorgeous house near the road. Instead of saying he was walking on the beach, say he was walking on the serene beach. Using attractive adjectives like these to describe your sentences will definitely boost your score. What you should do is make a list of 10 interesting adjectives that can be applicable in several sentences and keep using them daily so that you can use those naturally in your exam. I have given a list of 5 best words you can use in speaking in the link above, so do check them out. Another technique to improve vocabulary is by using phrasal verbs such as get back, which means return, ask for, which means request, and so on. Make a list of 3 to 5 phrasal verbs and keep using them. I have given the best phrasal verbs to use in the link above. Using interesting adjectives and phrasal verbs correctly can definitely rise your score. If you already speak English well and want to move a step ahead, then you can use idioms. For example, on cloud 9 or over the moon, which means extremely happy. Remember, use idioms only when you know how to use them correctly. Using them in wrong manner will lose your score. I have also given the best idioms to use in the link above. Always paraphrase your answers. If the question is, do you like Chinese food? Don't repeat the question saying, yes, I like Chinese food. Repeating the question shows that you don't know good vocabulary, which will reduce your score. Instead, paraphrase the answer, like, I absolutely enjoy Chinese cuisine. Here, instead of like, I said absolutely enjoy. Instead of Chinese food, I said Chinese cuisine. Or you can give a creative answer like, Chinese cuisine has been a part of my lunch since several years and have always enjoyed it. Using different words like these help to increase score. The next tip is about grammar, which is to use a wide range of grammar in your answers. You should have a range of tenses like simple present, present continuous, present perfect, future, and so on. Different sentence structures like simple, compound, and complex. Range of modal verbs such as might, can, could, etc. And obviously, range of verbs, articles, nouns, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions. If you don't know what these are, please search and make a list in each category, then start practicing them every day. This will increase your overall English too. Grammatical accuracy is also important, which means you must use the correct grammar in the correct sentence. It's better to use simple grammar correctly rather than using complex grammar incorrectly. Next tip is about correct pronunciation. You need to pronounce every word correctly and clearly so that the examiner can understand what you're saying. If your words are not clear, the examiner won't give good marks. Also, stick to your natural accent. Every city has an accent of its own, and that's totally fine in speaking. Don't fake accents, as examiners can easily identify that and they don't prefer it. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice in speaking. For example, if the examiner asks, "Did you enjoy the vacation?" I say, "Yes, I had a wonderful time on holiday." As you heard, my voice was high while I said yes. This is a good intonation. Instead, if I say, yes, I had a great time on holiday, there is no intonation. The whole sentence is monotone and you should avoid that. Instead, you must use good intonation. Sentence stress is stressing a word to show its importance. In the example, yes, I had a wonderful time on holiday. I stressed on the words wonderful time because I wanted to show that wonderful time is important in this sentence. Using correct intonation and stress goes hand in hand and must be used. There are 44 different sounds in English and you must make those sounds correctly. All these contribute to high score in pronunciation. Another tip is to use contractions. All native speakers use contractions and it's an indication of natural speech. Instead of saying, I am going to the park, say, I'm going to the park. I'm. Similarly, instead of I have, say I've done it. Instead of I had, say I'd. Instead of I will, say I'll do it. Similar contractions can be used for he, she, it and so on. Contractions will help increase your IELTS score. Practice them from now on because it's good for your everyday English too, as you'll appear as a natural English speaker. Some more tips are, in case you don't understand a question, don't reply it without understanding. Instead, you can ask the examiner, sorry, could you please ask that again? Or, sorry, could you repeat the question please? The examiner will repeat the question for you. You can use this technique once. If you get a tough question, for example, what is your favorite form of art? Instead of sitting silently, show your examiner that you're coming up with the answer by calmly saying, well, that's an interesting question, or, well, I never really thought about that, and quickly think of an answer. You can also add, please give me a second, to the previous phrases to get some time. But don't do this for every question. In case you have answered a question and the examiner asks you another question which might have a similar answer to what you gave already, then don't repeat the same answer. Instead, start with, as I said earlier, then rephrase the answer and add some more new points to it so that it appears as a new answer. Following all the wonderful tips I've shared with you will definitely help you score band 9 as it complies with this official IELTS speaking grading criteria. Here, these are the scores and these are the conditions you must meet to get this score. Let me tell you how speaking score is calculated. For example, if a candidate gets 7 in fluency and coherence, 6 in lexical resource, 7 in grammatical range and accuracy, and 8 in pronunciation. These scores will be added and then divided by 4, which gives 7. So the speaking band of that candidate will be 7. I hope you understood this. To get band 9, practice every single day recording yourself and following all my tips. Also, make sure you meet the grading criteria. If you want a speaking partner, comment below and I'll definitely arrange for you. Now, you must also watch this video here which explains the super techniques in IELTS because you don't want to miss the free training. I'll be giving more free IELTS training in the next video. To subscribe to this channel, like this video and share with everyone who are preparing for IELTS. See you in the next training class.